I finally get off of work. I've been waiting so long to just go to the movies. I don't necessarily have anyone to go with, but as an introvert, I find that I am the happiest in my own company. I purchase my tickets and try to find a good seat. Thank goodness, the theater room isn't as full as I thought it was going to be. I mean, it is a Tuesday night, and I figured with the cheap prices, more people would be here in the evening. But it's pretty clear, possessing only about 15 people in the first 3 rows. There is a couple in the very last row up, right under the projector and right at the end of the wall. 2 rows down is for me. I sit in the middle so that I am facing the screen onward. I sit down with my ticket in my hand, and then I place it in my jean shorts. The commercials are still playing, and I'm early enough that I can take out my phone and check Facebook. It's honestly just something to do. Usually if I go somewhere by myself, I don't want to look like a dweeb just sitting there doing nothing. So I seem important if I take out my phone and do nothing. There's a slight flickering of the lights momentarily. I look up, the flickering stops. I shrug my shoulders and look back at my phone. I contemplate as to whether or not I should get back up and get a cold drink, but I always face this conundrum in the movie theaters where I want to drink something cold, but at the same time it gets way too cold in the movie theater. Then if I get a really large cup, I end up having to pee halfway through the movie. I decide to sit back and just relax. The lights flicker once more. This time, they do so a little more aggressively. Some of the people below me gasp. As I'm sitting there for a while, more people start to pour in and fill in the rows beneath me. I pray that nobody sits right behind me. Unfortunately, a group of about 10 people sit in the row just behind me, but good thing they're off to the left. I hate it when people are sitting directly behind my seat. For some reason, they always feel the need to kick the back of my chair. I look over to my left at them, somehow thinking this will intimidate them into staying where they are and not coming directly behind me. My worries are for nothing, as they're so absorbed in the little conversation they're having back there, they don't even know of my existence. I can hear people at the front shushing the people in the back. The screen goes black momentarily to indicate to us that the movie's about to start. I'm really thrilled for the movie. It's something I've been waiting for about 5 months. It's a movie about gigantic flying kaiju. Nobody thought it would do well, and understandably there's only a niche following. But I love anything kaiju. Combative titanic creatures fighting on screen with surround sound in a movie theater is the perfect experience. The movie starts. It opens with a swelling orchestra, and then a horrific render of the title. The opening scene is set on the Congo. A little boy is seen running. We know it's a little black boy because we can see his bare feet running breakneck speed through the foliage. We can hear him panting frantically as though he's being chased by something. We see his face, eyes wide and in terror, momentarily looking back every now and then, but we can't see what's chasing him. We can't even hear what's chasing him. I'm on the edge of my seat, wondering what will happen next. After a good 3 minutes of this chase of this little boy doing parkour over the trees and the leaves and rocks, he finally bumps into something and it wraps its arms around him and squeezes him tight. The little boy screams in terror, and for a moment I think he's going to die. But he looks up, and it's his father. The father says something to him in what seems like French. The subtitles reveal the translation, meaning, "I found you. Where did you think you were running?" A good hunter is always 10 steps ahead of their prey. The little boy laughs and hugs his father. The father picks him up, places him on his shoulders, and then walks away with him. The camera pans out to reveal the beautiful, luscious foliage behind them. But there is some kind of insinuation that there actually was something chasing the little boy, something that he didn't even know was hunting him. Suddenly, all the lights in the movie theater just cut off, and we're all bathed in total darkness. "What the hell?" some of the people behind me cry out. For a moment, I just sit there, rolling my eyes, like no one can actually see me doing that. But I hope that they actually compensate us for this, especially considering I have work tomorrow. A full day of work in the morning and then classes in the evening. I've been waiting so long, almost half of the year, for this movie to come out, and now that I finally get the chance to see it, this happens. I hear one of the men on the bottom row call out and say he's going to check to see what's going on. Some of us say thank you and we wait patiently for him to leave. We hear the door open and then close, and it's deathly silent. Some of the people in the front rows are whispering to one another. I look behind me at the projector, or where it should have been, and I can't see anything. The room is literally pitch black. There are no windows in a movie theater room, and right now there feels like there's no air in here either. I whip out my cell phone. Feels like a bright ray of sunshine. I can see other people below me whipping out theirs as well and then shining it around so they can see each other. I click it off to lock down the screen so it's dark once more, and I just lay back, relaxing in this rare case of darkness. "Oh my God!" one of the girls below me cry out. I whip my head up, and at first I think she's joking, but then some other people start to exclaim on the rows below me. I can hear a strange noise to the right of the theater. Some of the chairs in front of me where nobody's sitting begin to move about 2 rows down. What's going on? "What the hell is that?" I hear another girl from down below cry out. One of the people behind me to the left asks where the guy is. He should have been back by now. I stay still, wondering what the idiot behind the seats is doing. I see and hear the seats violently move to and fro, the movement of one seeming to affect the other like dominoes. It stops, and then 2 minutes later, there is a blood-curdling scream from somewhere below. Some of the people below are panicking, and in between the mournings and panics, I hear the unmistakable sound of liquid falling. One of the guys also lets out a scream, which is abruptly cut off. It's as though somebody covered up his mouth. Cell phone lights are waving wildly down there. The only thing I choose to do is to stay as still as possible. For some reason, the goosebumps on my skin are raised, my breathing shallows. My instinct is telling me that I don't want to be seen. There is a loud thud, and I can see, hardly, but I can see what looks like a figure through the light of someone's cell phone jumping up into the air about 5 feet and landing into the section with the D-boxes. By that movement alone, all the people that were in the front row start to head to the exits. The chairs in front by the D-box make a cacophonous noise, and I can hear what sounds like flesh galloping on the concrete, heading towards them. I slouch down in my seat. The people behind me had been screaming during this whole ordeal. Somebody in the front that I can't see tells everyone to shut up. He tells them that there's something in the theater with us. Everybody goes quiet. Years of primal instinct come into play as we all make ourselves as still as possible. And that's when we can all hear it. With our breathing silenced by our fear, we can hear the sound of something else inhaling and exhaling in the theater, in the darkness. Nobody's phone light is on. Everyone's screens go dark. We fear that it will know where we are, locate us via the light. So we stay hidden in the darkness. I can hear it in front of me. It leaps over some of the rows from the D-box. The chairs make a clattering noise as it places its weight down on them, walking on the top of the chairs to get over to the different rows. It then gets down off the chairs and starts to walk in between one of the rows. It is only 2 rows in front of me, but thank goodness, it stops in front of me for a while but then goes to the left. I can hear and feel its breath momentarily as it passes. It goes into the corridor or the steps leading up to the top of the theater. I can tell that it's positioning itself to head towards the people behind me to the left. It's some kind of animal, some kind of beast. Now that my senses are heightened, I can even smell it. It's definitely not human. Whatever it is, I have to make the conscious effort to hide. It's not even like these chairs are good for hiding, because they flop up the minute you take your weight off of them. I couldn't even hide under them if I wanted to. If it goes after those people and attacks them, I will have to go into the steps and head to the exit to the left. I wonder if those people got away. It's possible that they did. Even if it got some of them, it's possible that some of them made it out and locked it in here. How did it even get in here? What was it? It is the worst fear, just like the movie I'd just been watching, when something is hiding in concealment, something malevolent. It's made worse, it's made more terrifying, all because you cannot see it. It releases trying breaths like that of an African buffalo. One of the girls squeals, and then I hear a deafening roar, something like an amalgamation between a lion's roar and that of an angry alligator, coupled with hissing and the sound of liquid spewing out. The entire group behind me starts jumping over the chairs and toppling down. I hear about 3 people go quiet, their voices each distinguished by the sound of their cries. I make my move, and I get up and run towards the stairs to my left. I bump into someone and we both go tumbling down the stairs together. The much heavier guy lands on top of me, and I start to to freak out. I can hear more people toppling down the chairs, or maybe it's the thing. Suddenly, the guy on top of me screams so loud that I go deaf momentarily. Something quickly drags him off of me as though he weighed nothing. I quickly get up, rolling onto my tummy and then running for the exit, tripping immediately over what feels like a body on the floor. When I try to right myself up, my hands are slick and wet with what I only believe to be blood. I head for the exit. I trip over more bodies. I can hear one of the guys behind me screaming for me to open the door, and he is immediately silenced. Instinctively, I drop to the ground on my stomach, right beside one of the wet bodies. With how close that guy is, and how fast that animal was able to attack him, I knew I wouldn't make it out of that door. I knew it would run me down. Whatever it is lightning fast, and there's no way that we could outrun it. I can hear the monster breathing. I can hear its footfalls on the bloody carpets of the movie theater. I am right by the exit. I am literally a foot away from the exit. All I have to do is get up and push it and I'll be out. But I don't dare move. I can hear the creature ambling lazily towards me, licking its lips. I can still hear the sound of what I think is blood leaking from out of its mouth, its chops being licked from the flesh it just tore off of its latest victim. I am in total shock and denial as to what's happening. I keep waiting to wake up, and part of me wants to jump into the mouth of the creature just to make myself wake up. But it's not a chance I'm willing to take. I'm hoping that any moment someone will open the door to this theater and let it out, or become a distraction. I wonder what the creature is doing, but I can hear it still breathing, but it's not moving, like it's waiting for me to make a move. I hear it paw the ground once. It lets out a bark, and then momentarily charges towards me before stepping backwards. It's trying to get me to run, and it's possible that it probably can't even see me. I hear it add more weight to the ground like it just took a seat. Then I hear something from back in the theater, a girl crying. Oh no. The creature slinks away, barely audible, and in the light from underneath the door of the theater, I can see a long reptilian-like tail trailing behind 4 beastly legs. I can hear it making its way up the stairs, and I can hear the girl screaming for her life. My heart is in my esophagus. I get up as quickly as I can. My legs and my arms, my entire body doesn't even feel like mine. I open up the door and then slam it behind me. I almost scream out for help until I notice that the walls and the floors of the theater in various sections are coated in blood. My mouth hangs open, and I stand there for a while. I head straight for the bathroom. No one's in there, thank goodness. And I go in one of the stalls, putting my feet up on the seat and locking the door. I get in my phone, and I realize that my hands are caked in blood. I wipe them on my jeans, and then, while I shake violently, I open up the call to 911. I almost expect no one to pick up, but someone does, and I tell them of what happened at the theater, that there was a horrible animal attack and that there are several injured and dead. The man assures me that he's sending someone. I leave the call open when I hear something slide through the door. It walks with purpose, heavy reptilian feet being placed meticulously on the slick bathroom floor. The sound of a gargantuan beast sniffing the air, a 700-pound animal placing his weight near my door to try and push it open. He bumps it a second time, and I almost believe that he's going to break it open. He moves on to the next door. My heart leaps as I hear him shove that one open. I can hear the creature struggle to turn his large body around in the enclosed space of the bathroom. He stops in front of my door, leans his head under. All I can see are 4 long tusks make their way underneath the bathroom stall. Apparently his head's too big to fit under, and the tusks stop when they're halfway through. He seems to get stuck, almost taking the door with him as he yanks his tusks out. My worst horror is realized when he heads back for the exit, and then I realize he can't get out. You see, you have to push the door to get into the bathroom, but you have to pull it to get out. Whatever this creature is doesn't have the intelligence to do that. And so, he starts butting at the door. He bellows a deafening cry, and to my horror, I can hear as more creatures answer him from outside. Another one shows up at the door and pushes its way in. Thank goodness. Through that action, the creature is able to get out. I sit huddling myself close on the toilet. I didn't even realize that I wasn't breathing. I had no idea how hard I was holding my knees up to my chest. I sit quietly, waiting for help to come. My only hope is that they can do something, and that they'll find me, because I'm not leaving this bathroom stall.